Got that new office worker money.
The loafer money.
John, you have kids. If you took your kids to a doctor's appointment, how much information would you relay to your wife that the doctor gave you?
Actually, quite a bit.
Oh, fuck. My 7-year-old has already expressed to me she wants to be an electrician just like Mom used someday. And I say, fuck yeah.
I plan on just buying a town and moving everyone I know there. We're just going to have a little compound. I'm going to name it New and Improved something.
Oh, it's going to be a fucking commune.
That's going to be the name. Oh, man. Imagine how bad it would just be a cloud of cigarette smoke of whiskey bottles as far as the eye can see. Motorcycle engines. Like
a classy brothel.
Yeah. No brothel. Like I gotta stay married.
Classy.
You did say classy. That's true.
Classy brothel. Right. The gentleman's club.
Yeah. Scotch and cigars for everybody.
Right. The best
clothing
thing,
optional.
Yeah.
I was watching a show and it was all about this. They're in Europe and they have gentlemen's clubs, which are like gentlemen's clubs. Like dudes go there, suits, smoking cigars, drinking some whiskey. Gentlemen's club. And this American's over there and they're talking and they're like, oh yeah, gentlemen's club. Okay, yeah, sure. What's her name? You know, Candy, Watermelon Sparkles. They're like, no, not an American gentleman club.
Yeah, what we call them.
Yeah, yes, a real
like an
gentleman's club
thing where you get fancied up.
Right.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's the old school joke. My wife really loved me because she found out I was giving half my money to charity every month. But when charity wasn't there, I'd give it to Destiny.
Right. It's the fucking glitter, man. It gets everywhere.
Fuck. Fake strawberry perfume smell. Fucking gross.
Wow. She does understand.
Right.
Everything you said was true. Katie is definitely one of the guys in a way here. Let's get after it, buddy.
Yeah,
what do you think? You ready, Katie?
Yes, I'm ready.
Try? All right. Welcome, everybody, to the I Shower After Work podcast. We're coming to you once again from the job trailer on a Saturday. John is with me as always. John, how are you today, buddy?
I'm fantastic, man. Excited again. We get a number 2 guest.
Excited again. We got our second guest in here. We got such good feedback on the last one. We're pretty excited about this one. A not baby, but a young electrical apprentice. Mother, local of IBEW member, 110 in St. Paul here. A professional, and from what I could tell, getting to know her over the last few months, a pretty good shit. In honor of Women in Construction Week, which is March 3rd through the 10th, I'd like to welcome to the podcast, Katie Bachman. Welcome, Katie. We're glad to have you.
Well, thank you.
First podcast, I assume?
Yes, first ever.
Excited? Nervous?
All of the above.
I got to tell you, the nerves are showing on your face right now. I can tell you that. Yeah. It's all good. This is a completely unprofessional operation here. You'll be all right.
Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to the shit show. Give us a quick background to Katie. Tell us about family, kids, that. Just let us know what you're all about real quick.
Well, I am married. My husband and I have been married for almost 11 years.
That's a good stretch. What's his name?
Nate.
Nate. Shout out to Nate.
Yes.
Neat.
Yes. We have 2 little girls, Elliot and Lorraine. They're 7 and 4 and just the loveliest.
They're still tiny.
They're such little babies.
I miss those days.
Love them. And the sassitude though. Holy.
Sassitude is a word I haven't heard before. I like sassitude.
Oh gosh, it is a test on my sanity, let me tell you what. But I love them more than anything. They're my perfect little angels. So it's all good in the world.
Very good. And so you are your first year electrical apprentice in the union here locally. Mm-hmm. Before that, if we can step back real quick, what sort of career stuff were you doing before you decided to get into the trades?
Well, I was kind of figuring out wanting to get into the trades. Gosh, okay, so my oldest is 7, so about 8-ish years ago, before I found out I was pregnant with her. And I decided when I found out I was pregnant with her, like, I can't do a new baby and a new career because wholly overwhelming.
I can only imagine.
Oh my God. So, and like looking back at it now, I'm like, God damn it, I wish I would have started this when I thought I could, but whatever, that's besides the point. But I was also actually in the banking world. I was a loan officer at a credit union in Inver Grove Heights. So
small. What did you think of that when you were doing it? Did it feel like a career?
No. I didn't like it because I wish I could have been like Oprah and been like, you get money, you get money, you get money. Everybody gets a loan.
Everybody gets
it's going to be happy.
I never articulated it in my head as well as you just did, and I was with it for 7.5 years. That is part of it.
It is.
Telling people no when they want something or need something was real tough.
And it's like the people that came in for a loan that were like, they also knew that they weren't going to be accepted for
Most
this
of
loan.
them did,
And they would be the nastiest people. I got called so many names, and like the worst, I was called a fucking cunt, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, thank you.
I'm a cunt because you have bad credit.
Yes,
that's definitely my fault.
Exactly.
You can't control your shit.
So it was good, but so then after that, I was working an hour away from home pretty much. So I was like, I wanted to go find something else. So I found a temporary like desk job being an order processor for a small company in Wisconsin. The commute was great. The time more home with my oldest was even better. And then after that, I got pregnant again with my youngest, and I was like, well, shit. Daycare's really fucking expensive.
I bet
it
God.
is. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to stay at home, just for the first year, get at least that year home with my girls. And then we had her in November of 19. So it was just before COVID. And then I was kind of forced to stay at home with the girls. And my husband also is forced to stay at home due to everybody working from home and or not working.
There was a lot of that going around at the time, that's for sure.
Right.
Yep.
So I was like, okay. And then I very quickly learned that I was not meant to be a stay-at-home mom because I love my girls more than anything. However.
Oh, you went batshit crazy.
Yeah. I didn't leave the house for 3 months. Like, they shut down the world on my birthday in March.
Ugh.
And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, my husband's like, I got to do a Sam's Club run. I'm like, you fucking let me leave or I will murder everybody.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
And he was like, okay. So
here's the keys, honey.
This is going to have to be this section is the two of you commiserating about this because I have no frame of reference. You two get after it.
It was intense, and I mean it was a lot, but like I went to Sam's Club for an hour and I came home and he's like, holy shit, you're like a whole new brand new person. And I was like, I told you I need to get out of the house.
It's amazing what that little bit of just separation does.
Yes.
It's just like,
but yeah, so then I decided to find a part-time job after things started lightening up a little bit. And I was a lunch lady for a couple of years. And then I said, my youngest is 2 at the time. And I was like, I gotta fucking start this now if I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not getting any younger. So yeah, I submitted my application for the apprenticeship program at the 110 hall and said, okay, let's do this.
Excellent.
So where did the background come from? Like, who do you blame for getting into the trades? I mean, I always say that.
Mostly my husband.
Yeah?
Yeah. He was a drywaller, finish carpenter. And he, like, just seeing the instant gratification you get when getting a project done, like, you're going to bitch about it throughout the whole process because everything's just like, yay, stressful. And it doesn't go your way 90% of the time. But getting it done and then all of a sudden seeing it's an amazing finished product is just like, hell's fucking yes. Like, I did that. I built that. It's mine. Like,
yep. You got your name on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so it was just like one of those things. I'm like, I want that. How do I get that? And so, yeah.
That tells me a lot that your husband never really badmouthed electricians because you're a fucking electrician.
Well, I was actually just going to ask.
I never said that.
He was a finished carpenter.
He had to have been bitching about us.
Right,
oh, yeah.
Our,
gosh. We've worked on projects at home where I'm like, I'm doing the little electrical stuff at home and he's doing, and I'm like, God, fucking carpenters don't pick up their shit.
They love to blame us for that. So that brings me to if he was in that end of the trade, and obviously we've spoken before, he's in a different part of he's still in construction now.
Yeah.
What made you pick electrical versus any of the other trades you could have picked?
Well, so, okay, I've helped him do, honestly, okay, before I even got into the union or anything like that, I did not realize how many different, like, variations of how many trades were out there. I was like,
it's shocking.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, plumbers, carpenters, electrical. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, painters, drywallers, tapers, tinners, all the other things. And I'm like, what is all of this?
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I was like, I didn't want to be a plumber because I did not want to deal with other people's shit.
Exactly. Literally and figuratively.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So more on the literal like standpoint, I did not want to do that. So I was just like, yeah, and I love tinkering. Like I crochet on my spare time. So I'm like, do little tinkery shit with my fingers. And I'm like, well, what better? And mind you, also did not realize what else went into being an electrician until
more than you thought, eh?
Yeah. I'm like, which I love. I love doing the physical labor of it all is like so satisfying to me because I'm like, even if I didn't do a bunch pulling wire all day, I'm like, fuck you. I'm like hulking it out right now. Like, it's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so my husband reached out to one of our buddies that I used to work with years ago. I bartended and he was a bar back. And so he is a 110 guy as well. He, my husband reached out to him and was like, hey, who can Katie reach out to? Like, she wants to get into this. And he told me to reach out to Tim Garcia at the Hall. And I was like, okay. So I reached out to him and he kind of helped me through the process. And I was just like, perfect.
Oh, that's great. What was, shout out the person who was helping you out with this?
That's Cole Handovit and his company, Valley Electric.
Okay. Shout out Cole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so far, you were just saying that you didn't realize there's so much variety in the work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just electrical. We say all the time, we're here for all the trades, union, non-union, whatever. Yeah. Is there anything that you've seen, and maybe we should preface by saying, Katie got the opportunity to help out a lot at the shop when she first came to the company. We had a person who was out for a medical reason, and she really stepped up and took over a job that wasn't what she was required to do, and really helped out a lot.
With the trade.
Yeah, it was really very little. It was on the organizational and the shop end of the trade, and I can tell you personally,
which is still important.
Which is still important.
Yeah.
That's where I met you.
Yes,
and you were good at it, and it was fantastic. But you weren't really learning electrical.
Right. I mean, I was learning kind of parts, but I would I've asked you a couple times. I mean, there was a plastic bushing that came in, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? It looks like a piece of garbage."
But that's how you learn, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, has there been now that you're out in the field? Has there been things that you've seen that were a complete surprise? Like, oh, that's our responsibility?
It was like, I don't know if it was just like me being naive or whatever, but when we have to do like cut-in boxes and stuff like that, it was just like, I thought on like, especially big job sites, the site I'm on right now is the literal first big job site I've ever been on. Because even when I was pre-apprenticing, I was pretty much doing residential service stuff. Sure. So we were at a bunch of houses, and
welcome to the real world.
Yeah, thank you. Woo-woo.
Yeah.
And so it was, excuse me, just like, oh yeah, we have to go cut in boxes for, adding extra receptacles everywhere. And I was just like, okay, can we get one of the drywallers to come and cut a hole for us?
Negative.
Like,
Negative.
No, that's us. And I was like, okay, let me go get my jab saw quick and cut a hole in here.
Yep.
I'm sorry to tell you, there's going to be plenty of those times throughout your career where you're like, wait, I got to do that?
Right.
Yeah. And that's just how you roll with the punches. Yeah. And that's not just electrical. Like,
that's everybody.
Yeah, we've talked. We all work together a lot, and sometimes you got to do.
Fuck, do I got to do?
Yeah, that part's like, that's not part of my job. Yeah, well, it is today, motherfucker. Like, here you go. Mm-hmm. No, that's excellent. Do you? Did you find that it was? And forgive me, I don't want to be, and I won't be patronizing in any way during this episode, but the reason we had you here was Women in Construction Week, and we wanted somebody on who had a perspective very different from John and I. Right. Have you felt already on the job site that you're part of the crew? Do you feel any way that you being a female has people treating you different? I'm putting it out there right away. Let's get it out in the open.
With my crew that
I realize, sorry to step on you.
Yeah, no,
I understand. You do still work with them right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still there.
But yeah, it's okay to have an idea of like how you feel it's going from your perspective.
With like the electricians, it's really great. There's a few of the guys that are kind of like, they'll be like, oh, we're gonna, I'll go ask somebody else to help me carry this heavy thing. And I'm like, dude, come on. I'm a fucking woman. I'm not like, I'm not a pussy. Like,
right. And that's a good
still
attitude.
Lift
Right.
shit.
Yeah,
like, come on now. I mean, and like, obviously, as a first year apprentice, their big thing is like, we drill safety into you. And that means like, you don't work as hard as you need to, especially when it comes to lifting shit. Even if it's not heavy, if it's awkward, like, still ask for help.
Lift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm like, I can still lift things. I can still help carry things. Please, please do not look at me and not being a woman. Like,
you're not a fragile flower. Or
yes,
anything. Excellent.
yes,
I'm glad to hear that you
exactly.
can articulate that and
Right.
stand up for yourself, because that's important too.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing that as I don't think I've been guilty of it. I've seen it on job sites where they do it out of a place of niceness.
Yes.
But it's a little,
which is great. But also, like, as a woman, I feel like I have to be 1000%, like, I have to step up way more to show that I'm capable of doing this shit, because I'm like, yes, I know I'm a woman. The like mindset of some men are like,
it's prevalent in the trades.
It
yeah,
is, right.
Which,
It's
which
still.
is,
Trades, yeah.
I knew this walking into this, like, male dominant trade. I knew that I was going to deal with this kind of stuff, which I'm like, I got this, whatever. I'm just going to show them up and be like, fuck off. But
Right.
Excellent attitude.
Right. Well, that's how you got to carry it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And like, I think like my crew is great. They've all been they shoot the shit. They don't, I mean, there's a couple instances where it's like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry for the way that we were talking. And it's like, please don't apologize, because it's great.
And I will say, when it comes to, because I've always taken the stance, women in the trades, you guys knew what you were signing up for.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
We have lift requirements that you have to meet.
Yes.
Right?
Well, and the thing is, like, women who signed up to come into the trades that didn't know this, like, what were you expecting?
Right.
Yeah. You weren't going to be like throwing around pillows all day, and like, heavy shit comes with working in construction.
Exactly. And there's been a couple of times as I'm working on job sites that the females on site, I was told by somebody else to help them. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Good.
I will take that hard stand and be like, they can do it. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing when
Yeah.
they signed up. I wouldn't help anybody else get the shit up the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
Fucking grab it
And
and
if
go.
I need something, like, if I do need help, because yes, I am not like she-man here, but I'm like, will you please come help me? All the time I'll be like, I need your man muscles for a minute.
That has nothing to do with your gender.
Right.
No, that
I
has,
ask people for help.
so do I.
Yeah, like I can't lift that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah,
if I lift it.
exactly.
That's a fucking 100-pound roll of wire. No, I'm not carrying that up the stairs. I used to when I was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking get at
Right.
no.
No.
Yeah, that's not because you're a woman. That's because you're not the Hulk.
Right,
let's-
exactly.
Let's be honest
Exactly.
here,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
fuck that.
Exactly.
And I think I've worked with plenty of women throughout my career, and I think sometimes that tended to be something that they would feel bad about when they thought, oh, I don't want to have to ask for help because I don't want them to think I'm not capable because
Oh,
I'm a
God,
woman or
no.
whatever. When we're not capable of doing stuff
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
It
That's
has
the
nothing to do with you
mindset
being a
I
woman.
have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a healthy
And
mindset.
because not every man is going to be able to lift everything or do everything on their own. Like,
Oh shit, no.
I'm going to need help at some point. And like, everybody's like, don't be afraid to ask questions. You need to be able to like get the knowledge. And I'm
Right.
like, yes, I'm not going to be afraid to ask questions. And yes, even though I do have to try a little bit harder as being a female, at least in my opinion or mindset, but I'm like, I still got to ask for help, because what if I fuck it up some
We
way and then somebody
all
gets
do.
hurt because of
Right.
it? So,
Or you get hurt.
or I get hurt.
And
yeah.
then all of a
like,
sudden, mom can't
yeah.
do
Oh
her thing.
God, my husband's always like, God, if something happens to you, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
He'll have to suck the fuck up.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, there's a lot of that goes around. So I'm glad that you've got enough foresight to realize like we all need to have help. And
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's a shame that you feel like you have to go 110% all the
Yeah.
time just to prove yourself.
Right.
Because I don't think that should be the case.
No, I don't think so either.
It's just a job.
Right.
And
Right.
I worry from my perspective, because a lot of what we talk about here, Katie, is we want more people into the trades. We want construction to be successful. And we were just speaking on another episode recently that includes everybody, not just
Yeah.
women, but like cultural
Everybody.
differences and
Oh,
everything, right?
absolutely.
Right.
But that sort of thing that you're talking about, I'm not trying to use the word fear here, but I'm tripping over myself of maybe just hesitance in that. I think that keeps a lot of women out of the trades who could have a successful career.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you tell, especially some younger women who are maybe a little in the weeds and don't know what they do, who could have a successful career? I mean, what are the things that you may have thought about and worried about a little before getting in that you could now say, don't worry about that, just get after it? Like, we really want your perspective on, especially for somebody who's so new.
Yeah.
What would you tell a 19-year-old, 18-year-old getting out of high school who doesn't know what they want to do with their life? Like, would you suggest to go down the path you're going?
Absolutely. Honestly, and like, I mean, because college is still to this day being pushed so hard and so heavy. And like, I went to college for a total of maybe a year and a half. And I went for massage therapy. Guess who's not a massage therapist, nor has ever been a massage therapist.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, but your husband's probably pretty happy.
No.
Oh, God,
he doesn't get it either, so it's fine.
You've got the skills and the knowledge.
Fuck it.
That would be a frustrating conversation at home if my my wife was a Michelin star trained chef at some restaurant and then was cooking me hamburgers and pizza. I'd be a little pissed off.
They better be damn good hamburgers and fucking pizza.
Let me tell you how good I was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could back then give a mean back massage, but nowadays I'm like, if you don't use it, you lose it. So
right.
Well, and you're also working for a living every day with your hands now.
Right.
And you're tired.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, we don't get home at the end of the day, most of us. I mean, certainly there are some people in the trades who go to the gym and get after it and stuff like that.
Right.
Man, when you work all day, it's tough.
Motherfucker, I know guys that are going to the gym at 3:00 in the morning and then coming into work. Fuck you.
Good for you.
My husband gets up and he goes on the... we have a Peloton, but we have...
Ooh, swanky.
Yeah, super bougie.
Got that new office worker money.
The loafer money.
Sorry, babe, love you. He gets up in the mornings, does a 20 to 40 minute workout on that thing, and then does some lifting. And I'm like, look at you being all good and healthy and shit. And I'm like, I come home and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to take a nap.
You never appreciated the comfort of your furniture so much before that.
Yeah. And then my girls are just like, cool, mom just wants to chill and watch a movie with us. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good thing. And you said it was Elliot and Lorraine, right?
Yes.
7 and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that transition of you now being out of COVID, out of stay-at-home mom, and now you're gone every day for you and for them? How did that work out?
It started out fucking rough.
How so?
Okay, my Lorraine, she's my youngest. She never experienced, like, when I was a lunch lady, we'd have a babysitter come to our house, and she was there for a couple hours out of the day. I think I worked 4 hours a day. So it was like, she got to experience one other stranger in her life. So she wasn't really socially apt to anything.
Okay.
Right.
Just
COVID kid.
I didn't realize that there was COVID kids.
Yes.
It just dawned on me.
So
Right.
we started bringing her to a daycare center, and the first, God, I think it was 2 months, and it was just every day she would have a meltdown. She would cry. She would like hold on for dear life to Nate, and because he drops her off in the morning, and then as soon as I come and pick her up, she's sobbing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, should we break her? What is going on? And it was just, she was...
We gotta fuck up our kids somehow.
I know. And it was so bad. So it was just like, this isn't working. And then one day, I don't know, she like really went in well with one of her daycare teachers, and she was just like, I got this. And the daycare teacher is like young, blonde, reminded Lorraine a lot of me. And she was just like, oh, she's now my new attachment. And so I was like, not healthy, but fuck yes.
Yeah, right. Right.
So it was good, but I'm like, it was not all at the same time. The transition was hard. My oldest, she struggled a lot with it because she was like, all the time she'd be like, Mom, I never get to see you anymore. And she was just starting school herself. And it was just, it went from like, I get to see you all day, every day, to a few hours every day. And it was just, okay, well, this is going to be rough for everybody, but now we just got to hunker down and make our time more special together, which took a lot for everybody, but it was good in the end. So
certainly it couldn't have been easy.
No, it took a while, and it was a lot of adjusting and figuring out what worked for everybody. And then after we finally got everything situated and whatnot, it was like, oh my gosh, I think you got a rhythm. Finally,
now.
We got a rhythm. We're good. Yes. Everything's great. It's
everybody,
wonderful.
The girls know they're safe. Yes. They're good. Yes. They're confident. Yeah. They're comfortable.
Oh, and it helps so much when Elliot was going to school full time. As soon as she hit kindergarten, that girl is my little nerd, and I love her so dearly for it. She is like, if she's sick and has to stay home from school, it is a meltdown. That is how much she loves school, and I'm like, please stay that way.
That's a win.
Don't
fucking
change.
Take that win. Yeah,
exactly.
Jesus.
I'm like, please do not change, because I'm hoping when she hits her teenage years, she still has that passion for school. Because, oh my gosh.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I know. Slightly terrified, but it's fine.
Nice.
And so, do you think that everybody can eventually find that rhythm that you just talked about?
Yeah.
For the people who are, and I mean, I'm not trying to be pandering here, but this is about the women in construction. Yeah. We're trying to get everybody. I mean, you think that most people can eventually find that groove where they can have a balance between working construction and still having a family? Because a lot of people will completely cut out that sort of idea in their mind because of what you just talked about. Family at home, kids were used to having you around and out.
Right.
Do you think most people can find their way there? It's not
I think so. I mean, there's people construction, hard fucking work. Like, you have to physically exert yourself. You have to actually put in an effort to do the job and get the job done. A desk job is mentally straining, but it is still hard work. And I'm like, not digging on anybody who has a 9-to-5 desk job or anything.
She's just saying that so her husband ain't mad when he listens to this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That was her covering her bases at home. She don't want to fight. Sorry, Katie.
Oh, no.
Keep going.
No.
That's how we throw you under the bus.
The shit he deals with on a daily basis. I'm like, fucking I'm so happy I don't have to do what you do. But, it's good.
Yeah, but he was also a field guy before he was an office guy. So that makes a difference.
Yes, right. And he has a lot of appreciation for that. So all is good there. But so nope, not he. I feel like everybody who is on the fence, like, it can be done. It's hard work. No different than any job out there and getting into the swing of things of whatever else. But it's hard work, and it's going to be regardless of what you do and what career you choose to do. I mean, you just got to hunker down and do it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
Right, exactly.
And one thing I did want to point out, sorry, I stepped away from the mic there to make a drink here quick. As I was getting ready for this episode, it was really hard not to be a patronizing piece of shit. I was looking up stuff about famous women in construction history, and as a little fourth wall break here, we will think about these episodes in our head and say the things out loud and see how they sound. It sounded patronizing as shit. So we're not going to do that.
Great.
But one thing I did find that was something that I wanted to bring up. There's an organization, the National Association of Women in Construction, NAWIC, I think is how they pronounce it. Hopefully someone listens and corrects me if I am wrong. It was the only thing that I found that I really want to make sure I brought up. We all are aware that there is a pay gap between males and females in every industry, mostly.
Right.
Some of that is skewed numbers because they don't factor in the fact that some women will take time off for pregnancies and family and things like that. But I am happy to say that construction is one of the greatest industries where the pay gap is the smallest. The national average is females making 82.9, so let's call it 83% of what a male counterpart would make in the same industry. It's 96% in construction. It's
96.
Right there.
Well, and I think that is solely, if we were going to look at it, right?
Yeah.
That is solely for taking extra days off.
Yeah.
Because moms,
yeah.
I mean, you will take the kids to doctor's appointments.
Oh, fuck yeah.
More often, certainly.
More often because, I mean, the kids are more comfortable.
That, I'm sorry, John, you have kids. If you took your kids to a doctor's appointment, how much information would you relay to your wife that the doctor gave you?
Actually, quite a bit.
Oh, fuck.
So I've gotten, so my ex-wife,
Good for you.
My ex-wife, their mom
He's been trained properly.
was a nurse. So,
okay.
So, and then being divorced, having to transfer all that information because I still will take doctor's appointments and everything else. Yeah. No, I'm really good at it. So sorry, I couldn't really go with your flow of punches
most
there.
Of my friends,
Yeah, he's a unique case.
most of my buddies that have kids or like whatever that I have, like if they were to take their kids to the doctor, they'd be like, I don't know, the doctor said give them this. Okay,
right.
Well, what huh? Did you ask this question? Why are they having kid? What?
Yeah,
I bet this is a real common conversation that goes on. I don't have kids. This
really
sounds
is.
pretty natural. Yeah.
Well, what about this? What about that? Did you ask this? Did you ask that? How's their weight? How's their fucking god damn it? Yeah, this.
But I do have to say, like, my husband is great because he does have the capabilities of working at home. So if the girls are sick or anything like that, he is like, if he's home and not out of town for a job site visit or anything like that, he is the one who's like, nope, I got it. I can work from home. He gets everything set up, and usually the girls get a good old TV and whatever.
Ice cream day.
Yeah,
God love
exactly.
the tablets, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think that's where, coming back to the pay gap, is the difference that there is solely the extra days off.
Right.
Yes. That is really, if I look at that 96%, 95.5, 96, that is
95.5, right?
That is literally 2 or 3 days.
Right.
I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's not dollars on the 100.
No.
That's a nickel on a buck.
Right.
And I think, like, especially with the union, I'm like, fuck yes, because as a first year apprentice, I make the same exact wage as my guys.
Yep.
First year
it's guaranteed.
Wage. It's guaranteed, and it's fucking amazing. I'm like, I know exactly how much you make. Like,
it's not a pay gap. It's you got to take a couple extra days off for one reason or another gap.
Exactly.
And it's a real small gap. And it actually, when I found that number, made me real happy.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
If that for no other reason was a good encouragement for people to get in.
But that is, and you found the number, but that is construction industry wide. That's union, non-union. That's
right.
The whole gambit.
That's awesome. Right? Yeah.
So seeing that with everything rolled into it, dude, that's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's
just, that makes me so happy because of the simple fact it's just a few days off.
It's the way it should be.
Fuck, man.
Same pay, same work. Here we are.
Yeah.
Right?
If I have to take all those same days off, it'd be opposite.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, which John brings up a good point here, which is something I did want to quickly ask you about. We've said on many episodes, we'll continue to say we're here for all the trades, union and non-union. What was the reason that you decided to go down the union route as opposed to just find a non-union shop to learn how to be in the trades?
I wanted to learn, like, from a good learning standpoint, and like, I've never been good at school. Like, I barely graduated high school, and like, I wasn't a fuck up, but I was like,
you didn't care.
It
lots
wasn't,
of people are like that.
Yeah, it was like, I was not good at school. I didn't study. I didn't do anything. And like, going through the school process of the apprenticeship program, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I remember I didn't like school. But it's still just like, I think learning not just the how to do things, but also the why of what we're doing is really great and beneficial. And it's like, I love the fact, like, how big they are on safety standpoint as well.
It's huge.
And it's just because, I mean, you can go to a job site and trip over something and be like, well, fuck, why weren't you looking where you were walking or whatever? And it's like, okay, but also they're like, hey, but also we have all of these preventative measures to not do any of that. And it's just like, okay. And then, I don't know, just the benefits too of being in the union, and the fact that, I have to work a certain amount of hours to get the before I have to pay for anything, essentially, but otherwise the rest of it comes out of my package. So it's just, I don't have to worry about that, essentially, unless I'm like getting laid off.
Right.
Which I mean, there's a question too. As a young apprentice, is that a worry in the back of your head? Because I know it keeps a lot of people out of the trades.
No.
No.
I am, in my mindset, as long as I am a hard worker and do my things and I don't know, like future or past episode I was listening to you guys, like one of them that's really easy to get along with and like shoot the shit. Yeah, it's great, but also as long as you're also a hard worker.
Correct.
And I'm like, check. I feel like I have all that. Like, I'm pretty easygoing, at least I think so, unless I'm tooting my own horn. But I'm like, I'm also a really hard worker. I mean, we were getting done with work yesterday, and I'm like, okay, we have 20 minutes before we actually have to like get out of here. I want to get this last whip in. I need to get it in before we go. Otherwise, it's going to bother me. And I'm just like, fuck it. It's going to take me 3 minutes fucking doing it.
And since we're audio only, I got my hands in the air for the win. That's the attitude we want with every apprentice.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm like, why are you telling me to clean up? We still have 20 minutes left. It only takes us 5 minutes to walk to our car. And also, I'm like right above the gang box where all my shit is going into.
Yeah,
so,
I gotta walk 100 fucking feet to put shit away.
It's gonna take me 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna be like, oh fuck, now what do I do?
Right.
This comes down to the sense of pride.
And I'm like, I want to get it done. Let me get a win in for this Friday. Like, I'm not gonna be here on Monday because I have class, and it's just
nice. That's not a male versus female thing. That's a successful apprentice attitude.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
We'd love to get to the point where eventually all the things that unfortunately separate all of us these days, which we don't want in construction or anywhere else, but gender, race, whatever it is, political affiliation, that's what we want at the end of the day. Good attitude, and we'll all succeed together.
I've met a few first-year apprentices that are just like some of them are super excited about the fact that they got laid off, and I'm like, why the fuck did you get excited about that?
Right.
I'm like, I'm just curious about it because I'm like, you don't want to be laid off. You don't get the same amount of money. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm here to make a living.
Right. Well, you're in a different boat than a lot of first year apprentices are too, right? You've got a family. That's
true.
You're not a 19, 20-year-old kid that still lives with mom and dad.
This is true.
You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I actually think that's one of the reasons that this is even more important to have Katie here is because she's able to do this, and from what I can tell, has been succeeding very well. I was tempted, because obviously everybody understands Katie and I at the moment work for the same company. Mm-hmm. I was tempted to reach out to your foreman, whom I know quite well this week, and just get like, hey man, give me a little feedback on young Katie. Like, how's this going? I didn't. Because I didn't want to.
We could have had some dirt to throw in.
Right, that's why man. I didn't want to make her feel paranoid on the job.
One little bit of dirt to throw at me, and that is, I got to work late one day because my car ran out of gas.
Oh, you know they have a gas gauge in them, right?
Shut up! I know. Literally, like. When they have the gas gauge and it like also tells you how many miles you have until you're empty. Yeah, I had way too much faith in that. I was like, I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. And I'm throwing myself under the bus right now. Just
which
like
is okay, good. Yeah.
You might as well because we'd run with it. Fuck.
I called the non-emergency line to come and help me out here, and the cop showed up, and I got out of my car. He's like, it sounds like you're out of gas, honey, because I honestly was like, according to how many miles I had left, I still had like 15 miles until empty. So, oh yeah, oh shush, close your mouth.
What the fuck?
Hey, you know how women are like, we're gonna keep our gas gate, or like you get into a woman's vehicle and it's on E every time.
Yeah, I'm married. I understand.
Yeah. Okay, it's not just me.
No, it
drives my husband crazy.
It drives all husbands crazy. And listen, this isn't bagging on women, but this particular case, this does seem to be a very woman-specific thing. Like dudes getting jobs 95% complete and then not getting that last little bit done for a year. We all have our drawbacks, but yes, even just 15. You mean?
I love it.
Your gate
1.5.
Wow, you got a lot of faith in technology, young lady.
Wow,
Holy God. I would feel like that was 1.5. If I saw that, my brain would be like, you have 1.5 miles to go. That's great.
Which I literally was like, nope. I went through the intersection in White Bear Lake, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, my car is stopping.
It's not going anymore.
Man.
There's no cocoa.
Okay.
That's
and
a sick feeling in your stomach, ain't it?
Okay, even more embarrassing. I stand up out of my car. There's a cop car behind me, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. There is a gas station kitty corner to where my car just. God damn it.
Just to follow up, everybody, she said she called the non-emergency line before this.
Right.
That's great, Katie. Good
I
for
did.
you. Good
so
for you.
Guess who got to ride in the back of a cop car to the gas station? That was kitty corner.
That you could have probably walked to.
That I very well could have walked to.
Yeah.
That would have probably taken less time, and I wouldn't have been late to work.
Yeah. And they sell gas cans.
They do.
Right.
They're $20.
I'm
for
super proud of you for being honest about this. That's rough.
What I like is that you still made it to work, because I know of apprentices that would have taken that and then just not showed up.
I literally was 2 miles away from work.
Yeah.
Which was the worst part. Literally 2 miles. And I'm like, motherfucker, I couldn't even make it the 2 miles.
Right.
God damn it.
Look, I'm walking, man. I'll be there in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a good attitude. That's something that's not a big thing in the grand scheme of things. I'm not saying be late to work, but how many times are you in the parking lot earlier than you need to be?
Oh, I'm there like 15
Right.
minutes typically.
Not to mention from a perspective of somebody who's been a foreman and ran work and things like that, which I suspect you will be one day, because again, getting to know you, you're bright. I think you're going to really succeed in this industry. You get a phone call from one of your crew and you see that at 4 minutes to start and you're like, that motherfucker's calling in sick. God damn it.
Ugh.
Right.
Hearing that, listen, I ran out of gas. I fucked up, but I'll be there in a bit.
Yeah.
That's a huge relief, actually.
And understand, as a foreman,
Mm-hmm.
I'm hanging up that phone. I'm looking at the crew around me and going like, she ran out of fucking gas.
Oh, he
Okay,
definitely,
no.
he definitely
Wait.
mentioned that to everybody.
Wait. Oh, no. Yeah. He's definitely giving me shit in front of all of the people. And when I called him, I literally was like, I think my car broke down, because I honestly did not realize what happened until
I'm real proud of you for admitting this. I know I just said it. That's great.
I was more than embarrassed. I was like, for fuck's sake. He goes, he was really great about it. He goes, are you safe? I'm like, yep, I am safe. I'm pulled over on the side of the road. I'm literally like a couple miles down the road. It's great. And he's like, Kate, get here when you can. I'm like, all right, will do.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
And fortunately, in this particular case, I know who you're talking about. He's a real experienced, chill dude. He's been through it all. So that's
Well,
not
like,
bad.
my biggest thing was I was terrified to go work with him, because everybody was like, he's a scary man. And I was like, okay.
All right. I'm not going to say his
Okay.
name. All right. TS.
Yeah.
TS, if you listen to this, you know who you are. We've worked together before, buddy. Shout out to you. He does, from the outside, have this impression of being serious and gruff and
Oh, absolutely.
right. I
He's
heard
like-
someone explain it as like the troll under the bridge. Like he's going to ask you the terrible questions and you better have the right answers. So I know exactly where you're getting at. I was
funny.
at this exact point before, which is
Funny.
not him at all.
Yeah.
Once you get to know him.
Right.
No, not at all.
Smart, capable, friendly.
He's super friendly.
Right.
Good.
I mean, no, he's super intimidating and scary still.
So
I don't want to
don't know.
ruin his
Right,
reputation.
yeah, don't ruin his rep. Yeah, that's why I didn't use his name, just the initials. Yeah.
So have you ran into any walls on the job site that are kind of like, I don't know how to word it. Have
Seen
you-
any sexism?
Yeah, straight sexism. Just straight, like all out
Sorry to
in
step
your
on you,
phrase.
John. Sorry
No,
to
no,
step
no.
on you, bud.
I was trying to
Yeah, I
pussyfoot
realize,
around
yeah.
it a little bit.
No, let's not do that.
No, no,
Yeah.
But-
no pussyfooting.
But just straight.
I haven't had any experience like that. And I'm going to say yet, because I know at some point in time in my career that I'm probably going to experience it. The only thing is like sometimes people walk on eggshells around me, and I'm like, I want
yeah.
people to look at me like I'm one of the guys. Like I want to fit into the crew. No, okay. Don't shake your head no at me.
So
I
we'll
literally-
go down this rabbit fucking hole.
Okay. All right, yeah, let's go, yeah.
Not in the aspect of like whatever guys do, but I'm like, I want to not be treated like, oh my gosh, she can't handle it because she's a woman. Like, I mean,
Right.
we talk about some really
So here's the thing. If I can dive in, here's a little fourth wall break for you for as men on the job site. So I've worked backstory a little bit. All right. So doing some underground, there was a girl on the job site. I was the underground foreman. I showed up with equipment, my operator, and we're doing all the outdoor service.
Okay.
Right. The foreman on the job that was running the work had a female apprentice. She was young. She
I love when John gets frustrated because he's trying to. This is when he's trying to trip over his words and he doesn't want to talk honest, folks. By the way,
well, I'm trying to be
out.
somewhat professional here. So she's bisexual, and she was very open on the job site about it, and she was talking, "Oh, I want to be considered one of the guys" and stuff like that. So the foreman was talking to her that way, and we're outside working, and my operator starts talking to her, and they're joking and laughing, and she's a single, cute, young, and I flat out told both of them, I'm like, you guys need to shut the fuck up, because all that is a walking HR hazard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that is the realm that we live in as with females on the job site. And it's not bad. I want to preface this with, I don't have a problem with females on the job site.
I'm all behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but as men on job sites working with females, we have to watch our P's and Q's, because if we say one thing that,
I suppose, not all women are like, whatever.
they can be joking 1 minute
and then all of a sudden
they don't like one fucking thing.
Why did you say that?
But it's
a landmine thing.
It's a landmine thing, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not just a job ender. It's a career ender.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? You don't want that on your fucking record. Right. Oh, why'd you get fired?
Oh, I sexually harassed this person.
Exactly.
Yeah, the official thing said that she was
Speaking
unhappy.
of sexually harassment, I made a joke.
I was going to bring it up. Go ahead.
Oh my god!
I was going to bring it up. That's when I knew you were cool. That was the moment. This is the moment she's going to bring up that I knew Katie was going to be our guest on the podcast. Go ahead.
So it was a nice fall day at the shop, and
I finished up a little early.
Out there washing his van, and I go,
oh my fucking god, I heard about this.
Aren't you supposed to be doing that in some sexy bikini?
And then you just walked away.
Just walked away.
You didn't give him
that was the best part, a drive-by comment, and she walked in the door and let it shut by her, never even turned her head.
Right.
I literally looked up and went, well, fucking cool. Like that's...
After I went home that day, and I was like, oh, jeez.
No, that was so funny.
So as far as sexist comment, do you know that there's a job site scale for women on the job site?
No.
You've never heard the job site scale?
Wait,
no.
Your husband was in the trades? Nate was in the trades.
And he's never explained it?
Yeah.
Oh, Nate, I'm real sorry in advance, buddy. We're going to let your missus in on something here.
Fuck.
You can blame us if you want.
Yeah,
Go ahead, buddy. You brought it up. Go ahead.
Okay, so every woman on the job site working, there's a job site scale. You guys got to have it for guys on the job site, right? There's a 1 to 10 scale.
Okay.
Right? So females on the job site in their hard hats and work clothes, and we're working and we're fucking dirty and shit like that. But then, she's a job site 9. Right?
I'm not going to say the numbers, but you just said job site 9. When in the quote unquote real world might be a
5.
Okay.
Or you weren't aware that this goes on? Okay, so this is good for you to know.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So I imagine there's got to be something that you women bounce around a little bit on the job site too, right?
Have you had a chance to work with any women on the job site?
I've worked with one lady on the job site, and that was on the current job site that I'm on, and she was there for 2 weeks. So I got to know her a little bit. We got put together most of the time, but we didn't get to know each other a lot. Like right when I was starting to feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, okay, we can actually sit and bullshit with each other and whatever. Then she was like, hey, going to the next site. And I was like, God damn it.
Fuck.
That sucks.
And like I'm at
that does
this
suck.
site I'm on right now. She was a pipe fitter. She I had maybe 1 or 2 like passing by conversations with her. But now, as of right now, I'm literally the only woman on the job site. And I'm like...
Well, I hate to tell you, that's the shit that's still happening.
Hey, you know what? Whatever.
I mean, it just is.
The I Shower After Work podcast is going to do its best to get everybody we can into the trades, and hopefully that number gets better. But very often, it's going to be just
It's
you.
okay. Every woman likes a man in uniform, and I'm assuming every guy likes a woman in uniform, whether it's a job site uniform or whatever.
That is true, and I think that's part of it. So what John was getting at was, I think the guys in construction for so many years, and there were so few women around that they just sort of got visually starved for women around.
Dude, we see a bunch of ugly fucking mugs all day long.
Right, so that when a woman coach shows up on the job site, you automatically get bumped up in your attractive level. But it's not even that so much that we're love-starved or whatever as it is, but also I think that a woman in a construction outfit getting after it every day with a little dirt under her finger, I think it's attractive too. So it's part of that.
It's just impressive.
You're getting after it with me. We do
you
the
get
same
that part
job.
of like, God damn, I didn't know that was hot, but it is.
Right, yeah. We do this. Yeah, we do the same job.
Right.
And there's something really, not even just, I'm not talking about sexy, but there's something professionally attractive about the fact that like, of course we do the same thing. I respect what you got going on.
And we just make it sound like we're just fucking dogs. Like that's just kind of how it works.
Unfortunately.
I mean, the stereotypical, like back in the day, you hear of anybody catcalling anybody. It's like women walking by a construction zone. It's like, hey, baby, how you doing?
What's happening,
girl?
She puts the Boston accent on it. So that's where that shit fucking came from. Us Midwesterners don't do that.
Oh, no, we're super nice.
Which I can tell you in my experience, I've seen only the opposite of that. I've never seen a bunch of dudes sit and taking their lunch catcalling a woman. I've heard more women walking by catcalling the construction dudes in my career.
So here, funny story. I was working downtown on a job site. We all went to lunch. Crew, and I don't even know whose crew they were on. They all went out to their this one guy's pickup that's sitting out on the street, right?
Yeah.
And they drop the tailgate. They all sitting in the back end of the truck eating their lunch, right? Mm-hmm. That's where they decided to take break. A group of young ladies came by them. Women, they weren't children. Jesus, they were women.
Adults.
They were adults.
They're adults.
Right? I can tell you, I can confirm they were adults. And I happened to be up on the third floor of the building looking out the window because our break area was right there.
Yeah.
And I look down and these guys are just rubbernecking these fucking gals. I mean, dude, breaking their fucking necks to the point that I went over to the open door during the break and yelled down while the girls were still fucking walking by them and said, hey, anything over 8 seconds is sexual harassment, guys.
That's a fair number, really.
And everybody, the girls and everybody looked up at me. I'm like, guys, fucking stop. Jesus. But it's really hard being in the construction industry. And I think people need to understand that the difference we have as men and women in the industry is an okay difference. Yeah. It's okay.
It's
that difference is
difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And having the ability for women to be able to come in, because it was a leap.
Yeah.
It was a leap for women to come into the construction industry. They're coming into an industry that was 100% men. Like
absolutely.
On the job site level, certainly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's been a lot of women running the businesses and stuff like that.
The behind the scenes of everything.
Behind the scenes, being project managers, stuff like that. Being let's face it, women are better at organizing than fucking men are.
Fucking no doubt.
It's right. But at the same time, having women to actually step onto the job site and take that leap is huge. And it's impressive. We're getting a lot of fucking water in this.
Yeah, I know. It was all water last time. Do you find it warm in here?
It is.
I even turned the heat off. Yeah. It's
good.
Yeah. It wouldn't be so bad.
I knew the nerves from before. I was like, fuck, I am sweaty.
Yeah, no, yeah. We're eventually going to get the studio set up to be an actual studio. But
you guys are sissies. It's just fine in here.
You have a t-shirt on.
Yeah, because I'm smart.
It's because John. It's because John wanted to show up his patriotic American t-shirt today, which I know wasn't a fucking mistake.
Hey man, fucking blue collar America. That's where we're at.
Hey, what does my hat say?
Right, support blue collar.
Support blue collar. I'm all about it.
Right, blue collar patriot. Fuck off. Giving me shit about my fucking shirt. Jesus, fuck off.
Listen, from the outside perspective, I know it's not what we're talking about here, but let's take a little tangent here real quick. All right, does every single American t-shirt need to have either the American flag colors on it, in your case, in a skull or eagle.
Yes.
Or a firearm of some kind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I notice the firearm is always, for some reason, a silhouette. There's always the silhouette of the firearm. They don't show a picture of a gun. It's the silhouette of the shape of the gun. Right?
Yeah, you can't. You can't take it too far.
I can't help but notice that's always the way it is.
People are going to start getting offended. Right. Yeah.
Or it's a solid colored thing that looks like a firearm.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no detail to it.
No.
I'll give America credit. Y'all are real patriotic.
The phrase is Merca, fuck yeah.
Merca, fuck yeah, really sums it up, right? Yeah. For everybody listening in the other countries, I'm an expat living here, and it's exactly what you think it's like. And I don't even live in an like ultra pro gun patriotic place like a Texas or something like that. It's America all the way up here. So
Well, yeah, especially when you get in the trades, though. I think if you want to see a lot of patriots,
yes,
it's the trades.
Absolutely.
We say that it's the group that keeps the country going. Mm-hmm. We're putting the buildings up, we're keeping the buildings running, we're keeping the water on, the power on. We're doing the things that keep everybody else comfortable and happy all the time.
Right.
We are going to get the groups of people in this country and Canada and other countries. I shouldn't even just be sticking to North America. We're going to be a little more down to earth. You're going to get groups of people that are you don't.
I 1000% will agree with that.
We don't have the chance to spend a bunch of time worrying about uppity things that can be talked about in an office because you're living a comfortable life.
Yeah.
We don't bring up a couple specific subjects on this. We try not to be political, and there's one real common subject now that we try to avoid. We don't even want to give it any credit or talk on our podcast, right?
We're just not going to fucking talk about it.
And we all know what we're talking about. You will. You'll think about it in a minute and you go, oh, yeah, that. Okay? We don't want to worry about things like that because we're all in the construction industry together. We're all doing the same work every day. And there's no need to muddle it up and confuse it and make it uncomfortable with a bunch of details that are really popular and time-consuming in the media right now that we don't have the time to do it on the construction site.
Honestly, like being on the construction site, it's literally just a bunch of bros getting together and shooting the shit, in my opinion. It's literally just all it is. And that's not even just like within being an electrician. It's all of the trades.
That's a trade.
My favorite guys to shoot the shit with right now are the acoustics guys, the ceiling guys, whatever. Yep. They're so fucking hilarious. And I accidentally scraped up some of the grid on the drop-down ceiling. And
oh, you told them?
Well, I didn't tell them because it was a team effort of scratching up the grid. Josh, calling you out here.
Shout out, Josh.
Sorry, Josh.
Hope you listen, Josh.
But he went and told them, and we both, took the blame for it, and I get all the shit for it, which is fine. And
if I can give you some advice from an old fucking electrician, don't wait to say something when you fuck it up.
No.
Right.
No. That is the one thing I'm like, I am proud of my errors. I will go and be like, I done fucked that up. Sorry. But
for anybody listening who's getting into the trades or just recently
don't be
thinking
afraid
about
of shit.
Yeah, don't be afraid. If you fuck something up, just say you fucked it up.
Oh my God, I'm so happy we got on this conversation.
Oh my God.
You guys have to hear the story.
I know, I'm so excited.
I finalized my job this week, right?
Yay.
It's all done, 100%. I walked the fuck away, right?
Woo-hoo.
Before it is a simple warehouse shell, 2 warehouse shell buildings. I had 2 weeks off. Between that time, there was literally the floor cleaner, the guys running the fucking power sweepers, right? Mm-hmm. And the fucking taper there finishing up some corner beads and some cleanup and some paint and stuff like that. The floor cleaner hit the fucking corner bead of a wall and then denied it. When his fucking sweeper has the mud on the fucking tire and denied it. There was 3 people on that job site. Him, the taper, and the GC. And the GC's all like, you're seriously not going to make me do this, are you? Literally, you're not going to make me do this. The mud's still on the tire of your machine. Nope, didn't do it. It's right there. Nope, didn't do it. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's literally like a child being like, I didn't do that.
Got the marker in their hand, wrote on the wall. I didn't do that.
My daughter, Elliot, God bless her soul, she wrote Elliot on the wall in crayon or colored pencil, something.
Well, at least it was that.
She goes, Mom, I didn't do that. I'm like, Elliot, honey, I love you. Lorraine can't write your name. And why would I write your name on the wall? And she goes, I just wanted to practice.
Paper, honey, paper.
That's
Ask for a notebook.
Cute.
And so it's so great. But it's so.
Yeah. But at the end of
Honey,
the
a
day.
child does that.
Right. Like, fucking, to hear the GC look at him, because I was standing there for this conversation. He's like, you're really not going to make me do this, are you? I'm like, fuck, man, just own up.
Those words came out of his mouth.
Out of his
Oh,
mouth.
that's fucking hilarious.
That's rough.
Like,
if I can sidebar for a quick minute here, can you once again pronounce the wax writing utensil you just said your child?
Crayon.
Say it once more.
Crayon.
Okay.
crayon.
It's not a crayon.
I'm really, as a foreigner, this is a really fascinating thing to me. I know this is off topic.
How do you
here.
say it?
Well, I say crayon,
Crayon.
but I've
a
heard
crayon.
I've heard about. See, you don't have an O at the end. This is an American
A
thing.
crayon. Like it's a crayon, like short for cranberry.
Right.
Yeah, it's a crayon.
There's
No, it's a
about 5 or
crayon.
6 different ways that y'all as Americans
Crayon.
explain this and pronounce this word. I find it really fascinating. So sorry, folks, a little side topic. That
Wow.
was for my benefit. But just so you know, you guys, a lot of yous pronounce this in a very different way. So I just wanted to follow back.
A lot of yous.
Hey, I'm an expat. Fuck off, dickhead.
Let's
Way
go
to turn
down
that back
fucking
on
road.
me. See, there's a real American
also,
thing.
Here, you text the same exact way. Like you add the S's to everything. And
I
I
know.
was
My wife
like,
has teased me about it.
oh my goodness, Jason.
And you know what's so funny? I've gotten so used to it now. I don't even notice it.
Oh, it's
And then
so,
I'll look at it again and be like, wait a minute. What's that say? I knew what he said, but that doesn't sound right.
Y'all, you love foreigners.
I love
we
foreigners.
love all
You guys all love
Yes.
foreigners, yeah. But yes,
Not
I
all
admit
foreigners,
there's certainly some things I do as a foreigner that are probably funny for you too. I didn't know about the S's thing though. We'll have to talk about that after. This is something I was unaware of until about a minute ago.
Sorry to bring that to fruition.
No, please do. Yeah, I'm willing to take as much heat as I possibly can. I've said for years, a lot of times when I was still working field all the time, we'll all talk smack around the break table, and if they had nothing else to do to make themselves laugh, I was always an easy target. And I'm not a protected class as a Canadian.
Right.
You can. It's not like you're teasing me because I'm one of the quote unquote protected classes. I was open season forever.
Right.
So I'm used to taking heat. I got to have my fist
you
up.
still are.
You're right.
Like-
I've been battling. Right.
Like, you haven't taken that test yet. You still are.
Right.
That's absolutely true. For everybody listening, I do intend at some point to become a real live official citizen of this country, but I have not completed that yet.
And I have intention to finish my basement remodel, which, I mean, fuck.
Okay, we had my husband and I bought our first house together back in 2010. Nope, 2011. Yeah. And so we moved into that house together with the ambition of finishing the basement, because it was an unfinished basement, and we were like, fuck yeah, all of the opportunities. We moved out in 2019, and that is when it got finished.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it
And
goes.
so we got,
Welcome to
it
being a
was like
homeowner.
Yep.
mostly finished probably about a year before we moved out of that house. But it was like, fuck, we got to enjoy maybe a year of it. And it was like, it was such a badass basement. There was
That's-
an epic bar and
Right.
it was so great. And then I'm like, hey, bye. It was so nice for a minute.
My wife and I bought our house 3 years ago.
Okay.
And she instantly was like, hey, let's do this and this and this. And I had to stop her. And I'm all like, Ashley, honey, look, I love you. Can we just live in the fucking house for a minute?
Slow, deep breath.
Right.
Slow, deep breath.
We made it a year.
Oh, good.
And she wanted to tear it apart.
Hey, at least you got a year.
Right. You got 12 months. That's
Right.
Katie's right. That's a good
Right.
point. Yeah.
And it wasn't even a full year because I started the demo in October and we moved in September.
Good.
I guess that is a full year.
That's a full year.
Yeah, full year and a month.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You got 13 whole months. out
13
of
whole
it.
fucking months where I didn't have to work on the house.
Right. Well, Katie got to walk through the complete disaster, which is the, I think, 30-year-old or 40-year-old's decoration and construction in the basement of my place here today. So I'm looking forward to this, actually. I was a little embarrassed, I'll admit. bringing in guests. We've only had 2 now, but we're going to have more going forward of, oh my God, they got to walk through that disaster of an old, outdated, disgusting
When you said
basement.
it was a disaster, I was expecting a construction zone. And
No,
it was
it's just
not
full of
at
shit.
all
Oh,
like
you
that.
should come to my house then.
Yeah,
Because we do record in a construction zone.
Good.
Literally.
Yeah, that one's down to studs and wires
Nice.
and stuff. Yeah,
I
so
love it.
I must admit, though, a friend of mine, I was talking to him about this exact thing this week. I'm like, I got to admit, I'm a little embarrassed because people got to walk through what is eventually going to be a nice space down there, but now it looks like outdated and shitty and blah, 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 blah. The person I was talking to goes, yeah, but now when they come back later and they're like, wow, look how great your studio looks.
Yes, exactly.
A nice frame of reference is good. So when we have you back, and we definitely will. And now that, and John and I talked about earlier, now that we know that Nate is also in the industry and in a slightly different place of the industry, I think it'd be real interesting to have the both of them back, right?
With you, yeah.
Yeah, not only to see a married couple both within the construction industry, but in different parts of it. I think, Nate, if you're open to this idea, buddy, we'd love to have the two of yous on sometime, maybe around Valentine's Day, to really drive it home, to be a pain in the ass about it, right? All the built-in jokes that come with that, that would be perfect, right? Okay.
I did have a guy, speaking of Valentine's Day, there was one of the drywaller guys. He came up to me and he's like, you're one of the only women on the job site, so I have to ask, what do you have planned for Valentine's Day? And my husband and I, we've never really gotten like, oh my gosh, it's Valentine's Day, we need to do all the sweet things. Like, it's just
my wife and I are anti-Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Me too.
We get together with a couple of friends, and like, this was pre-kids even. We would get together and we would it started as our annual tradition to go see the 50 Shades of Grey movie. And
that's fucking weird.
It was just, whatever. Fuck off.
We'll keep going in a minute.
Okay,
give us your story. A story to step on. Go ahead.
And then we would just do a fancy dinner. Like, we always do steaks and then chocolate fondue afterwards. And it's just now we no longer include the weird S&D whatever movie, but it's now just a tradition. We have all of our kids there. Like, there's 5 kids total between my 2 and their 3, and then the 2 couples. And so it's just a nice little tradition that we do. But that's it. Like, we don't do cards. We don't do fucking anything for Valentine's Day.
You say that's it, but that's fucking involved.
But we never do
dinner,
it on
chocolate fondue.
Yeah, and now it's just like a casual dinner with friends.
Okay.
Where we get
actually
fucked up and we're just like,
we're
getting drunk
so it's
and hanging out
modified.
with, and we're like, oh yeah, we call it our Valentine's Day dinner, but it's not like ever on Valentine's Day. I mean,
sure,
it was
the weekend before or the weekend after.
It was literally the weekend before, because both of us families were going out of town during Valentine's Day. So we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I moved to the States in 2006. I immigrated here. My wife and I got married that same year. And, new marriage and all that. And on the topic of Valentine's Day, I'd get flowers and I'd get cards and I'd try to plan a nice dinner or make a nice dinner at home or whatever. And I don't remember what year exactly. I've been married 17 years now, to be 18 this fall. But at one point, I stepped it down a little bit, whether I'd had a busy day or whatever it was. I thought about it last minute. Somebody mentioned on a job, so like, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? And my brain went, fuck, it's the 14th of February. So stopped, got a card. And again, I don't remember. Let's say I got a card and maybe flowers. And I recall my wife very nicely opening up the envelope, taking the time to either read the card or pretend to read it, which I don't know, and go, how much did that cost? It was certainly a number of years ago now, because at least I know we don't celebrate at all. She's like, why are you celebrating a made-up holiday?
It's a Hallmark holiday.
Yeah, you make me dinners.
Like, you want to get me flowers? Fucking get me flowers just because, not because you're told to do it on a date.
Yeah, right. I've learned now, send them to work. And this isn't just a male, this isn't just a husband's.
Stop right there. In the construction industry, do not fucking send me flowers at work. Please and thank you.
So for all the men listening who have a spouse or a girlfriend in the trades, she says that because it'd be embarrassing as shit. I'm going to say that because it's embarrassing as shit.
Yeah.
Also, all of this shit will be given.
Right. Also, if you want to be really dark funny about it, if you're a female dating or married to a male in the trades, definitely send the flowers on St. Patrick's Day. Pardon me, Valentine's Day.
That would be
Fuck
great.
epic.
Yes.
Yeah. If
I'm
you
going
really
to
want
send flowers to all of the guys on my job site and say,
yeah.
just kidding. That's way too fucking expensive. I can't do that.
I miss you.
You pick,
I miss you so much. I can't wait till you get home tonight.
You pick one random person that might have pissed you off within the last couple of weeks,
yes,
and you send it to them. And if you know,
warning to all of my future coworkers,
the full asshole on the job site.
Yeah. The one guy's been, and then put something really messed up on it, like, "Hey, what a great night. Love to talk to you again, John."
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because one thing we didn't talk about.
Don't use my name.
Right.
But
this is something that you got to know, and you might already be aware, Katie, but I'm going to help you out here if you're not, okay? And I'm going to help anybody listening. Practical jokes and fucking with people on the job site is one of the crucial things we use to get through the years of this career.
Yes. Oh my God.
And if you can, I know it's hard not to take credit for things sometimes, but I was always a big proponent of dropping some sort of bomb in the middle of a group to fuck with people and then never taking credit.
Right, just walking away.
You were the
That's
criminal.
the problem with me, though. I'm like, every time I'm just like...
Right, yeah, no, you got to get good at it, right? But to be a criminal mastermind and to throw somebody under the bus and make them look like a jackass and then just to stand back like Blofeld from the 007 movies, touching your fingers with your little white cat going, it's a lot of fun, actually.
Yep. So for Valentine's Day, me and my wife, we have a rule. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day. The only requirement that I have from my wife, discounted chocolates after Valentine's.
Ooh, that's
smart.
legit.
Smart.
I'm not a chocolate fan. However, that's legit, though.
I hate to say it. Now, I've been with her now for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
This year was the first time I was able to round up discounted chocolates because they go so goddamn fast.
They do.
It's
like if you
it's
don't get, it's like
thing.
a Black Friday of Valentine's Day.
Fucking
like,
poof. Figured out the trick. Found out the heck. Went to Walgreens.
They jumped the gun quite a bit at the Walgreens. Yeah, that's for sure.
So you just fucking get them because they just kind of hang around.
Listen, this is all important information. I might not be so much trade related, but you're welcome for all the extra stuff here today. If I can wrap things up a little bit and sort of put us at the direction of the end here.
Look, we're drinking because we're just
drinking,
sitting there shooting the
we're
shit.
drinking, and this is spinning in a fun direction, which is also okay. If I can ask you one last semi-serious question, Katie, if you don't mind, and I'd like to start by saying thank you so much for taking the time not only to travel here to be with us today, but to give us your perspective, because we really want everyone in the trades. It's going to be important for all our futures going forward. Male, female, black, white, everything. We don't care. Just show up and work every day.
Don't give a fuck. Just do your job.
But what I would ask you from your perspective is, if you were to and take a moment, think about it. We can edit out a long pause if it happens to be there. Females, young females in the trade who are thinking about maybe getting into this career, who are worried about it for whatever reason. They don't think they can do it. They think it'll be too much sexism, whatever the normal concerns are. What would you say to young women who are at least considering this career?
As if you were talking to my daughters right now that are 17 and 20.
Right.
Okay.
Your daughter's in 10 and 13 years.
Yeah. So my 7-year-old has already expressed to me she wants to be an electrician just like mommy someday. And I say, fuck yeah, because I think that women in the trades, women in like any kind of job that is male dominant is fucking awesome. Like, hells yeah.
Roger that.
But just do it. Like, you got to take the chance. It's just like any other job. Like, you could go to school to be a doctor and halfway through medical school be like, fuck, I don't want to do this. But you don't know until you try. You don't have to, I mean, you can go to day school for it or trade school or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But just, you don't have to go to school. You can go to a non-union shop and be like, teach me. And they will fucking teach you. And you can go walk into the union hall or go online because it's way more convenient. And you can just fill out an application. And within a week, they say, hey, here's your aptitude test date. You're going to do it. You're going to be fine. And then you have a whole process to go through on that, which is whatever. But just go fucking do it.
Go fucking do it is
Go fucking do
perfect way to sum it up. I love it.
Amen to that.
If you are even slightly in the aspect of, maybe, what if I do it? Just go fucking do it, because you know what? You don't know if you don't try. And I'm 33, about to be 34 in a couple of weeks here. Oh,
puppy.
I know, it's your baby.
It's a baby.
But I'm just starting a new career. I'm a first-year apprentice. I pre-apprenticed for almost 2 years. I did a 3-month stint with predominantly residential person, and I'm like, just fucking do it. That's all I gotta say.
Do you feel confident that, and be honest, please, that you've made a good decision and that the pay and benefits and the type of work that you're going to be doing over the next 20 years of your life are going to be beneficial to you?
Yes. I come home, and my husband, Nate, has told me so many times in the last couple years now, he's like, I have never seen you come home from work. Even if you are just beyond exhausted, you still come home with a sense of satisfaction that you got shit done today. And I was like, yes, because I fucking love what I'm doing. It's hard work. Yes, it is very hard work, but you put your mind to it and you just go and do it. Not every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies, but
that's a fact.
Fuck amen to that, right?
There was a few times where I was like, fuck, this is goddamn stressful. But still, at the end of the day, even if it was a really bad day, nothing went your way, it still is I still got shit done. I figured something out at least, even if it was putting in a goddamn receptacle, which is one of the easiest things to do. You're like, hey, I won with something today.
Sometimes that receptacle can take for fucking ever.
Yes.
And you're because everybody else is in the fucking way.
Yes.
It sounds wild, right? Katie, I can't thank you enough again for being here with us today. For anybody who's interested, we're going to put some information up on socials. I don't know if Katie has a bunch of socials.
I just have Instagram and Facebook.
What's your Instagram? If you want to give it out to the general public.
Fine. I'm it's not, I don't really go on there all that much, but it's KT and my maiden name, Devotee.
Spell that for everybody.
DEVOTY.
Okay.
Devotee.
Yeah.
KT, the letters,
yes.
Devotee. Okay,
yes.
On Instagram. All right.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Oh,
so
very cool.
Yeah, look Katie up.
Reach out to me if you have any questions about women's being in the trade, I guess, because.
Yeah,
from what I can tell, you'd be encouraging.
I will. I'm anytime I hear about, oh gosh, you guys were talking about going into high schools and stuff like that, fully support it. And I feel even if women go in and be like, you guys, this is an option too. You don't have to go to college. If you want to be successful and do whatever, just, here you go.
And
fucking awesome. Jesus. Done.
I'm not saying
fucking
nothing.
Close it down. Anyway,
John, hit him up, buddy.
So I want to direct everybody over to our website, isawpodcast.com, and hit us up on Instagram. Give us a follow. Give us a like. If you have questions for Katie, we'll definitely send those to her. We'll have her and her husband back. I think that'll be super fun.
That'll be a good time.
That'll be really fun.
I want to meet Nate. Yeah.
And then, but send those questions over. You can send them to our email, isawpodcast@gmail. You can send them to the Instagram at isawpodcast. You can even text us, 607-507. Oh, I fucked that up. 507-607 ISAW. 507-607 ISAW. Okay, 507-607-4729. Jesus fuck.
Okay, so this is a fairly new thing. Listen,
it
John.
It is brand new.
Yeah, this is brand new. Okay. I understand, John.
For those of us who don't understand T9 texting.
Yeah, why not? Just look at the letters on your goddamn phone. Fuck.
That's a real generational thing.
I'm sorry. I understand that. Are you kidding me? That was the best way to text.
You know what?
Dude,
you might be
I
think you're the youngest person I've known that
she may be the youngest person in the world who understands T9. Yeah, that might be fact, actually.
I was using that at 16.
If anybody under the age of 30,
3.
If anyone under the age of 33 understands T9 texting, honestly, without looking up on the internet, DM me.
I don't think
507-607 I saw.
Right.
I bet you she's the youngest person in North America who understands T9.
Right. 507-607 I saw. Hit us up. And no, I'm going to keep saying I saw because fuck you. You can look at the letters on the goddamn keyboard. Fuck,
that is really true, actually.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Figure it the fuck out. I'm so happy, Katie, that you're in the trades. I'm so happy we have somebody that is as cool as you working as women in the trades. We need to bump that up. We need to actually have more people like you.
Hells yeah. And like at the end of the day, I miss talking to women. So ladies out there, do it.
Because Katie's surrounded by a bunch of ugly fucking mugs.
Yes.
Not to mention, though, Katie has the opportunity.
Of fucking construction
right
lines.
Tonight. Yeah, the girl.
Yeah.
What a perfect finish. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, great.
Everybody, thank you for listening once again to the I Shower Afterward podcast. We're really happy you did. Reach out to us. Reach out to Katie. We'll definitely have her back on if Nate is interested. And now that we've said your name like 8 times, Nate, you kind of have to, or we're going to call you a bitch for not coming on and being willing to be here with your spouse. So at the end of every episode, we always say what our motto is. And we've decided that it's going to have to be our guests going forward that give our motto. So the last thing of our whole day here, Katie, what's the motto of the Aisha podcast?
Your work keeps the world working.
You're goddamn right. Katie, cheers.
Sláinte.
Thank you for being here with us. Today.
Speaking, is it Sláinte?
Sláinte.
Sláinte. Okay.
Irish for cheers.
Just try to... Actually, it's Irish for health. But the intention is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate the effort. Please rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll talk to you next week. Everybody be safe out there.
Amen.
Amen.